Live here. Good morning, everyone. It's Miracle Monday, Breaking Beyond with Brian Bogert, and we're blessed to be here today. Appreciative of everyone's patience. We're rocking and rolling, trying to get the dream work and the teamwork aligned with what's important, prioritizing and following the system, allowing us as well. Sarah Zeiler's in the house. What going on, Sarah Zeiler? I miss you. I love you. If you're not following Sarah Zeiler or Ellie Zeiler, you're missing out. Two of my faves. They're incredible. All right. Where's Brian Bogert? We'll bring him on real quick. Mr. Morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Breaking Beyond. And it's Brian Bogert joining me on Miracle Monday. Miracles happen every day if you expect those miracles because of who you are and who walks with you. Brian, with this hat on backwards, you never know what you're going to get. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, brother man. How are you?
Fantastic. I got back from my whirlwind personal and professional tour. It was awesome. Chicago, New York, New Jersey, Philly, Chicago, Madison, Chicago, and I was very active
I love
and I loved it.
it.
And I got more rest than I have gotten in a long time with that much travel. Even though I got back at 1:30 a.m. yesterday,
I love it.
and it was
What was your
awesome.
takeaway, bro?
My takeaway, gosh, there were so many, but it's intentionality. What I find is there's a whole bunch of extra milers out there, whole bunch of people that go the extra mile every once in a while, but they're not intentional. And they use that to justify why they are not where they want to be. They'll be like, oh, I did this for 6 hours on Saturday. And, I believe in the attention and intentionality of the consistent, persistent behavior. And it was never more present than, who showed up for the meetups, who showed up for the VIP dinners, who showed up for the speeches, who was intentional while they were there around. I had some of the biggest investors in the world. I had some of the biggest names in the world, billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers all week long. And it was fun for me to watch who got it and who didn't yet. And we're all on a journey of practice. So intentionality was definitely, and the difference that intentionality makes was definitely the takeaway for me of the day.
I love that, brother. And here's the thing, you can't be intentional with what you're unaware of, right? So it allows you to take it to kind of two steps: open your eyes, open your consciousness, open your environments. And man, that's beautiful. I was out in Pensacola for a couple of days for a board meeting for one of my clients that I've got equity in his business. And my lesson and takeaway is that we can always neutralize, diffuse, or redirect potential negative energy coming towards us. Particularly when we realize that 99% of the time, whatever energy is coming towards us has nothing to do with us, right? So it was interesting. I had recently joined the board, and there was an old school guy that's on the board, which I really, really love and respect. He used to be the head of OSHA for like 30 years for the government, and just like a really protective safety guy. It was interesting because the first day he ultimately asked the CEO, my client, he said, essentially, not in these words, who the fuck is this guy? Why the fuck is he here? And what value is he going to add to the company? You know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I would have still received that defensively and likely reacted to it. But instead, what did I do? I honored and graced this guy's length of wisdom, his clear need to protect the CEO from the new kid on the block, right? And ultimately, I just responded with heart. And by halfway through the day, he started deferring to me versus trying to redirect the conversation. So, oftentimes, here's what I learned later: most of that energy was because of a pattern of a couple of bad relationships that he's had to help protect against. So when someone real and authentic comes in, they aren't expecting it. They're still going to be guarded and defensive. We don't need to absorb that as our own. If we exist with a strong spine and a soft front, like I communicate all the time, then ultimately we open ourselves to be able to receive everyone else and for them to be able to receive us.
Yeah. If you give control what other people say, then you're going to give everyone who talks control. Anyone who has the capability of speaking, you're giving control to. All right, I know I was delayed in my internet connections, but more importantly, we got my friend Steven is already waiting for us here, and we're going to soar with him as well. Stephen Herbert Andrews is in the house. He's an investor, coach, author, founder of SoarX Consulting. Right on time, Stephen, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. I'm really interested in who you, as a great mentor in real estate, who are some of your mentors, and why have you chosen those people in order to effectuate being able to help other people? Obviously, in my mission to empower others, a lot of times people look at people like you and say, oh, he has it all figured out. But you seem like someone who has other mentors, and you actually are learning from them.
Absolutely. Being in the real estate business, when I got into it a decade ago, I wanted to have some good mentors around me because there's just so many different avenues you can go down in real estate. And there was one go-to guy here where I live at here in Elon, North Carolina. And he was wanting to kind of downsize his business because he wanted to spend more time with his family. And I wanted to obviously grow. And boy, does a good mentor really help you out. And he had 25 plus years experience. He had already done everything you could probably do wrong in real estate. And that helps you when you have a mentor that has some background, that has some mistakes, because at the end of the day, that's when you really learn is from your mistakes. It's not the successes that really build you who you are. It's the failures, and you build that into a success. And so I try to surround myself with so many different mentors to help me grow. Because the thing is, there's a saying out there, you don't know what you don't know, right? So, if you surround people that's got far more experience than you do, you can really grow, which that's really what I've done over the last 10 years. And that's what I want to pay for it. I've had a ton of success in real estate over the last 10 years, several hundred rental units now, loan money, flip houses, but now I want to get back. And because I wouldn't be where I'm at today if it wasn't for mentors.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I love that when someone can see something within you that you can't see in yourself, right? They can help transport and collapse time to get you to be there. It's one of the powers of mentorship. It's one of the things that my good friend David Meltzer has played a role for me many, many, many times. You said something, it's like some of our greatest lessons do come from our mistakes and from our failures. And I don't necessarily believe in failures and mistakes anymore. I believe in lessons followed by actions, right? We do the best we can, typically, given what we know at the time. But given all of that said, what was one of those situations, a mistake or a perceived failure that you ultimately extracted one of your most profound lessons from? What is that? And how are you now teaching that to those that you're helping develop?
Absolutely. When you first get into real estate, it's very overwhelming, right? You have to figure out how to get a loan or get your finance. You have to find out what kind of rental property you want. And so for me, when you first get into it, it never goes as fast as what you think you want to go, right? When you first get into something, you want to go 1,000,000 miles an hour, and that's just not the best way to do it. And so I started to learn that lesson, and my mentor at the time, he said, hey, slow down. And that's some of the best advice I ever got, was to just slow down and methodically do what you're doing, execute your plan. Because if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I think there's just so many people out nowadays, and certainly new investors, that just want to hit the ground running and not do the research up front. And I know when I was first getting into business, I didn't do all the research I needed to do. My first deal was a success, but if I would have done the research that he was asking me to do, man, I would have had even more success. And so, you take that kind of failure and you turn it around to a blessing almost, where, it helps you lead where you want to go.
It's so beautiful. And your new book coming out here in March, congratulations, The New American Dream, all about how to invest today in real estate, considering where we're at, the external circumstances, financing, interest rates, opportunities, supply and demand, segregated and separate from in different regions and areas, from commercial to residential, et cetera. Are there a few little tidbits that we can use to stimulate some interest in understanding the new American dream? What's new about the American dream, and what's some tips you can give us as we finish up?
Absolutely. So here's the book. It'll be out March the 12th, like you were saying. And I take back to my time when I was a little kid. My parents always said, hey, the American dream is to own your own property, to live in. I believe the new American dream for the younger generations, they don't care as much about owning their own property, but they care about owning rental property. And so to me, that's kind of the new American dream. And so this book is everything that I've learned over the last 10 years. From what's the first things first, to financing, to how do you know if it's a good deal, to maintenance, to rental management. And then the last chapter, which I love the most, is when is enough enough? Because I know for me over the last decade, I've been kind of chasing a little bit of a ghost, right? You know, your goals, you always, you know, once you reach a goal, you have another goal and you have another goal. And so when's enough enough really kind of compares my 35-year-old self to my 25-year-old self of, would I be proud about where I'm at today? Have I really hit the goals I really wanted to hit? And to look inward about when really is enough enough, and not to the external world, you know, because everybody has their own opinion and only you can really, you know, determine what that is. And so super excited about the book coming out, and really, you know, that last chapter, I think it's going to leave everybody with something to think about.
No doubt, Steve. And we're happy to promote you. We have many other platforms. The New American Dream, understanding the external circumstances and how and what meaning from the past, which is secular in nature when it comes to real estate, can be utilized to effectuate a divine direction of making more money, helping more people, having more fun in the oldest and best way to do so in America. The American dream, the basis, the foundation in America since the Constitution was to protect the landowner. There's so many options, opportunities, touches of favor to make money in real estate, but we need mentorship. We need guys who are giving back like you, who can give us instructions, give us direction, give us the step-by-step way in order to effectuate that new American dream. Pick up the book March 12th. It's everywhere. Andrew, please reach out to us as well. We appreciate you. Stephen, sorry, you got 3 first names. You're going to kill me. So Stephen Herbert Andrews. Anyways, I got back at 1:30 last night. Stephen Herbert Andrews, not Andrew. And I'm just having a good time. Come back and join us soon, and good luck with the book. We're happy to help you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And also, people can visit storexconsulting.com. I also have an online course that goes even further than what the book does, more in depth. So thank you so much for having me on, David.
So smart.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much, Stephen. Take care.
Have a good one.
See you, brother, man.
Awesome. All right. He is awesome. SoarX Consulting. Check him out, as well as the New American Dream. Little mind fart there. Must have been the guy who was asking me if I was gay. Yes, I'm very gay. So if that satisfies you for your day, and I hope I made you more gay by telling you I'm very gay, and we give me.
I love you, Meltzer. That's like almost exactly how I respond to. I'm like, I mean, whatever label makes you feel comfortable about me, I'm good.
Look, labels are for shampoo, and God knows I need it. So, all right. Oh my God, I love being old where I don't give a shit. Like, talk about responding exactly to the takeaway, right? As far as what we said, right? If you allow other people to control you by what they say, you will give everyone on earth control, except for the people who can't speak. Then I guess they won't have control over you. But anyway, all right, we're going to bring on our next friend. She's a good friend of mine. And what an extraordinary entrepreneur Lisa Cohn is. Hopefully I won't F up her name as well. And she has a great book indicative of how I see her career from startup to grown up. And it's funny because as she's grown up, it looks like I'm more grown up too. So I keep on staying ahead of her in the age bracket and experience bracket. Where did she go though? We'll take a quick question when she comes back. Oh, here she's back. All right, here we go. Too much energy. You know when they don't work the first time, it's an energetic thing. Here's an extraordinary entrepreneur. She is a mentor to many, and she has her own book, From Startup to Grown Up. She is a blessing to so many people, and executive coach, helping so many people, and hopefully incubating many more young women to help with my new fund, by the way, that is starting. I'll try it one more time. Maybe Elisa is not following one. It says unable to join. Maybe she has to upgrade her IG or follow one of us. Can you guys help her out? My team, help Elisa out. But guess what? When we got too much energy and we can't connect, it's then question time. Here we go. So when are we going to see DJ Dave at Coachella? Yeah, baby. I was rocking and rolling on the keyboard, whatever that thing's called, at SAE house at the SAE house when I was with Marlene at Madison, Wisconsin. They offered me $20 an hour to DJ the party at night. Unfortunately, you know me, B. On 9 o'clock Pacific time, the gig was from 11 to 4 a.m., 11 p.m. to 4 a.m., and that's my non-negotiable sleep time. So I couldn't take the gig, although it would have been the best $20 an hour I've ever made. I love DJing, and I got a DJ lesson, DJ Dave. If you want to hire him, email david@dmeltzer.com. All right, more
Bro,
questions.
if you ever actually DJ at Coachella, you better tell me, and I will be there.
Oh, I'm gonna make you one of my dancers, bitch. All right, so.
Hey, dude, I'll be your backup dancer any day, bro.
All right, good. I'll give you like glitter outfit. Okay, okay. This is a good one and you start me off, brother. Your intention for the week.
Yeah. So my intention for the week, I've had a lot more travel than normal and a lot of travel coming up. And so my intention this week is to be extremely present with my wife and my kids through the week that I'm here, as well as amplifying with intention those relationships that I want to deepen and further to create more impact in the world. It's very clear for me this week. There's two primary initiatives that are outside of my normal daily routines. It's presence with my family and amplification of the impact.
I love it. And for me, my intentionality is to, in one of the most active periods of my year, to make sure that I am fully intentional, not just going through the motions with my non-negotiables. Yeah. Sleep, family, the finances, the fitness, all the stuff that I do. I want to be intentional, not on all the extra supplements, additional amplified stuff, but I want to be intentional about the basics, the non-negotiables. And I found that the better I am at that, the better I can respond to an expansion of my learning curve, an expansion of my productivity, an expansion of my accessibility, and even my gratitude. All right, Elisa's back. Here we go. We're going to get back into Startup to Grown Up, one of the best executive coaches of her age. She's not a 19-year-old life coach with the courage of a 19-year-old life coach. She actually knows what she's talking about. She is a successful entrepreneur. She's leading the way of her generation of being successful and taking advantage of old guys like us that have some shit to unlearn so she can be successful, taking advantage. I'm her biggest fan. I'd be one of her backup singers. I just don't know why. I can't, too much energy, I guess. All right, let's take another question.
Yep.
We got to make sure we're productive, and Elisa, we'll make sure we get her. Who is somebody that you guys are learning from currently?
Ooh.
I know for me, it's Walter Isaacson. He has written so many great books, Ben Franklin, Elon Musk, Jobs, the Innovator book. He has extraordinary pedigree. I didn't realize until I read his first book. I'm like, how is this guy that brilliant? And when I realized what he's done with CNN, the Wall Street Journal, like ridiculous background, but he is one of the greatest insightful writers of our time. And I'm learning from him right now. And he's added to all the other mentors, my sleep mentor, my business coach, all the people I have in my life and my shows like Breaking Beyond. Who's having the greatest impact on you, my friend?
Right now, though, over the course of the last few weeks, the one that I'm learning the most from is a gentleman by the name of Richard Rudd. He developed a whole concept and framework called Gene Keys, which is really kind of a genetic predisposition for how we energetically flow through the world. And it's been pretty incredible. So there's weekly themes, but there's also profile makeups. And so the deeper I've gotten into that, the more I start to realize how sensitive I am to receiving the global energies, because these weeks tend to be highly predictive. And it's not like signs where it's like a prediction for the day. It's literal energetic swings. And as we move into this age of Aquarius, a lot of what he is ultimately allowing me to understand about myself is extremely powerful.
That is amazing. And is Elisa our last guest too? Is that?
Yeah, she is our last guest. So I'm hoping we can try one more time and get her. And if not, man, we'll have to either do some more questions or wrap early.
Schedule. So let's just take another question. Luckily we have a little bit of extra time than normal, but I got to get to Miles because I'm being intentional, like I said, about family. Do you have suggestions? It keeps saying unable to join. So it must be either upgrading Instagram Live or following. That's the only thing, or her connection. But
Yep.
we'll get you back. Startup to Grown Up, name of her podcast, name of her book, one of the best executive coaches of her generation. Elisa Cohn is amazing. But do you have suggestions on
Yep.
how to improve your retention? Great word. While reading books.
Yep. So I'll jam on this first. I'll just give the two that have been most relevant for me. My retention increases when I calibrate my listening speed when I'm absorbing books via Audible to the way that my brain works. So I'm typically 1.5 to 2 times speed from what the normal narrator is. Keeps me more engaged. I can retain more. But what I've also found is if I want to take that and up it an entire level, I actually listen to the book on Audible and read it simultaneously in the book while I'm underlining so that I'm getting multiple elements of my body engaged in the process. That's experiential learning, that's natural learning, and it actually allows those lessons to be further embedded in my psyche.
I love it. You've heard of the ride along. It's the read along that I believe in. Like you, I will add one thing because I'm a big read along guy when I can, but I also will reiterate and practice and re-listen on top of
Yes.
the read along. Obviously takes more intention, but the repeat or the repetition is also something that I utilize. So when I do my balance routine, I do my stretching routine, I have travel times. Instead of wasting my time on a movie, now I'm repeating the retention with repetition of just audio when I don't have an opportunity to read it and have that nature. The other thing that helps me is just having a methodology, a mechanism to retain things. So if something resonates with me, I always have a capture mechanism by me to capture what resonates with me. So it's more than, because I do, like you, listen at 1.5 up to 3 times, depending on how distracted I am or what I'm doing. But I have a mechanism to capture that which resonates with me. So there's a ton of stuff that goes by that it's not resonating with me. It may sink in or soak in through repetition, but every once in a while, when you're listening and reading, there's a nugget, and it may not resonate with anyone else, but because it means something according to your awareness and your experience. So I have to have a capture mechanism on top of it in order to retain and then utilize and prioritize that lesson, that nugget, through the process of having a methodology. All right, takeaway of the day. We're going to reschedule Lisa Cohn. If you haven't seen Startup to Grown Up, the podcast or the book, if you haven't reached out to Lisa, please do. We're going to have her back on. She is family, so this isn't a big deal. Based in New York, go to Elisa Cohn at I'm looking for it, elisacohn.com. All right, very good. Easy go.
I'd love to ask one more question before the takeaways, brother. Could you break down what your capture process is? Because I also have capture processes, and I think that's a really effective thing that a lot of people don't have a system in place for.
Thank you for slowing me down and explaining actually what I mean. So that's really important, and thank you for doing that. So what I do is I have a mechanism, usually my phone, and if I get a lesson like in order to get effective marketing, you need to wow somebody. You got to get and pique their curiosity of and then work your way to wow. Those people that can build a brand by creating someone going, what the hell did Brian say? And then through his explanation, go to wow, that's genius. Because most people are going to say to at first. For 10 years, even the physics community said to equals MC squared. But when he was able to do the wow, he built a brand that lasted for life, maybe the greatest and biggest brand aligned with being genius ever created. So I have my phone by me. If something resonates with me, I email or text myself from my phone. I then put it into a folder in Outlook called Capture. And then on Sundays, I spend a minimum amount of time attaching stories, reevaluating and reprioritizing all the lessons that I've captured, the nuggets that I've captured, and then I subcategorize them in order to effectuate better teaching, better coaching, better interviews, better speeches. All the different things are applicable to understanding. I think I'm I host the most in my mind of lessons and stories, and I'm able to utilize them like you in complement and supplement to channeling. So go ahead, have that capture, modify, amplify, and perpetuate, but you got to capture it and then review it, reprioritize, and attach a story to it so that people can learn it because people learn through stories, and allow the stories you tell to see what part of the story resonates with them. It may not be the part of the story that you intended because everyone has a different frequency. All right, takeaway of the day.
Man, when is enough enough, right? He helped us really root in the fact that defining, you have to ultimately anchor that internally versus externally for you to ever be able to answer the question. And I'll take it a step further. I have enough for everything I've ever been able to desire and create up until this moment. But it's also okay to desire and want more, right? And so in this perpetual game of when is enough enough, enough is about how do I allow myself to be centered, grounded, satisfied, happy in any given moment, but realizing that there is always more as time continues to evolve.
I love it. And there's more than enough of everything for everyone. A mindset in which allows for the appreciation, acknowledgement, and the ability to ask for more as a value add, not a zero sum, which is a journey in which I'm trying to help people with. Because if I can change that mindset from not enough to just enough to more than enough, we will live in an abundant, infinite, unified loop that allows people to give more, be given more, to receive more, and to ask for more, which allows you to have more than more, which allows you to give more than more, be given more than more, receive more than more, ask for more than more, and so on and so forth. So you don't end up with zero, you end up with more than enough of everything for everyone. For me, it's the new American dream every day. Dream new. Don't dwell on the past. Don't allow the thermostat of the past to limit you and your self-image. You'll never overachieve your own self-image. So let's try to have a new dream every day, a new possibility by knowing what we want, a new probability by knowing who can help us and who we can help, a new perspective by figuring out how to utilize time in order to facilitate the productivity, accessibility, and gratitude, and then make it our now, make it our reality, prioritize what's important to us in a divine direction, utilizing divine time in order to detach from outcomes that we don't understand or know or not capable of understanding or knowing. And therefore, instead of searching for our why, our purpose will be greater than our pain, and we will apply our why to the divine direction, the divine time, in order to effectuate more of what we want to live in that world of more than enough. So the new American dream is my takeaway for the day. I love Brian Bogert. We are working on a new platform worldwide, multicasting this. He is amazing. I can't think of anyone I'd rather start my week up with. It's Brian at Brian Bogert, at Bogert Brian. It is Breaking Beyond with Brian Bogert. If you are sick of the double B's, then you got to get out of here because we're all about it. He is my fave. Thank you, brother. Take care. I will talk to you soon.
Man, you're in flow today. Just keep it rolling. Let all of that come. I love it. I hope everybody picked up on all the brilliance that you just dropped. And my brother, I love you so much.
See you soon. Yeah. Thank you. All right, that's the incredible Brian Bogert. We apologize to Elisa Cohn. Go to @Elisa Cohn, elisacohn.com. All right, everyone, let me just go through our schedule once again. As always, we'll be at SoFi tomorrow, leaving for Vegas Wednesday. Meetup in front of the Wynn is Sirius XM Studios now. At the Wynn, at noon, at the Wynn, right in the lobby, right by the buffet, right across from Tableau. Go ahead and meet us in the lobby right there. We'll do a meetup at noon. Take your lunchtime with me, ask me anything. Then we're filming Thursday VIP dinner, Thursday night and Friday. Then we'll be back and off to Syracuse on Sunday, and then back to Tucson, and then, Phoenix, then back to Orange County. Wednesday VIP dinner. We got the who's who showing up. So make sure you reach out to us, david@dmeltzer.com. If you want to be alerted, we're in 200 cities booked already this year. 949-298-2905, 949-298-2905. Reach out to us. Remember, most importantly, be more interested than interesting. Be kind to your future self and do good deeds. We'll see you later, alligator. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate you. Awesome. All right. Thank